This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Kelly Wright in New York. Las Vegas police responding to reports of at least one active shooter near the Mandalay Bay Casino. There are reports there may be more than one shooter. The entire situation causing complete chaos along the Strip. A barrage of gunfire heard, people screaming, fleeing the scene. If you can imagine that. So far, 2 reported dead, 24 injured. The shooting started during a concert at the Route 29 Vegas Strip. That's where country singer Jason Aldean was performing at the time. He went on right after fellow country artist Jake Owen, who was still at the event. He tweeted, "Gunshots, Vegas, pray to God. Love you guys. Love you, Pearl." Adam Housley is on the scene right now. He's been reporting on the developments here within the past hour. Adam, what can you tell us?
Okay, Kelly, since we're resetting, I'm going to let viewers know exactly where we are. Right behind me is the Mandalay Bay Hotel. The concert was taking place just across the street. In fact, we're on the other side of where the concert and the party was taking place. You can kind of see some of the setup, basically, if you will. It was inside there at the end of the concert. Jason Aldean, according to all the witnesses I've spoken to, was singing. At the point, the last song of the set, all of a sudden, you could hear gunfire, and it was like firecrackers. I've heard some of the video on people's phones. It sounds like you were at a New Year's parade and you hear that pop, 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 pop. When that happened, Jason Aldean took off running, and then everybody who was obviously at the concert just scattered. People started going down, being hit by gunfire. People were trampled. It was utter and complete chaos. No other way to explain it. At this hour, we've been told that just down the street there are dead bodies on the street still, on the sidewalk. You can see, actually, if you look closely, I know it's nighttime, you can see a lot of different gloves that have been thrown off and gauze and things. So obviously there have been patients that were treated right there on the street. We've seen a number of ambulances leave, come and go. The last hour, by my watch, the last hour and a half throughout the southern part of the Strip, and actually up to the mid part of the Strip, you could hear law enforcement come from all directions. Here come some police right now. They might be moving us back. Let's wait, guys. Maybe not. But you've seen these guys are not in tactical gear. We've been seeing police officers in tactical gear all over. Going down side streets, because at this point it's still an active crime scene. They don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know how many shooters. There have been some reports there were 2 shooters. We're going to back up here as they're coming this way. Absolutely. You're moving back.
I appreciate it.
No problem. So we're moving, as you can see, active everywhere you go to Kelly. Side streets, they're going door to door in some places. We've seen them talking to people, taking them into their apartments, checking on them. Yeah, okay, can I talk to you for a second, bud? Justin, can I ask you a question? We're walking back with you. Yeah, sure, we'll come over there. We know of some people that were hiding in nearby hotels. I've talked to one of our former interns who called me within maybe a few minutes, and her and her family fled, jumped in somebody else's car, and basically hid in the basement of a hotel. What's your name?
Justin.
You got blood on you. Is that from your injury or is that from somebody else?
That's not me, brother. That's not mine.
What'd you see inside?
I'll tell you what, man. I was here enjoying the concert just like every other fellow American here. And, things happen, brother. What goes on here isn't American. That's not what we're about, and this is not okay. Other people run, that's okay, that's on them. I'm here for everybody else.
How many people did you help? How many people
7.
did you see down?
How many people did I see down? Probably close to 20.
In various, obviously, conditions?
Look, man, I'm not wearing any clothes up here. Everyone who I thought, has passed on, they have an article of my clothing covering their eyes, covering part of their body. Everyone who I saw breathing, I help, man. None of this is mine. I'm here for everybody else, brother.
What are you thinking right now? I can't even imagine.
Look, man, I'm an American. I'm proud of where I'm from. I carry a weapon. Obviously, you can't carry in here. That's their deal. That's what they're proud of, whatever. Not me, man.
Where were you when the shot started? I heard Jason Aldean was singing at the end of the concert.
Correct.
And it sounded like fireworks. He took off running. Kind of explain where you were, what you heard.
So it did sound like fireworks. I've been around guns my whole life. I did not hear a single after percussion where it would have made you think that it was a firearm. Maybe because of the people that were there, but it did sound like fireworks. I got tagged in my hand. I don't know, maybe glass, something. As soon as I felt that, I got all my friends. I said, get out. And I ran the other way, man. I'm here to help people, so.
How many people are still in there injured? Have they got most everybody out? Are there other people still in there that helped out?
Look, man, everybody's that's still on that side of the line, has passed on, brother. So.
Well, appreciate you you're helping. And sorry.
Appreciate you guys.
Sorry, I didn't meet you in the circumstances, but okay.
We're going to close this area. I need you guys to
Move back.
the
Police just confirmed the one suspect is down.
One suspect is down that we know, guys. We just got to confirm from the police department. One suspect is down. We don't know if there's more than one. We don't know if there's more than one suspect, but one suspect is down. As you heard from the witness right there, Kelly, anybody past where we were just standing, anybody past those vehicles, he says, is not alive. If they're a victim, they're not alive. They're there as, unfortunately.
That is so disheartening to hear, because you always try to hope that people are going to be fine. But, Adam, we're going to have a live news presser that's coming up soon, and we'll be going to that. In fact, we're going to take a break from Adam and go to that right now. Let's listen in.
Want to help. I see a lot of people out here that are coming down wanting to help. Please steer clear of the area. We have all the resources from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as well as our partner agencies, coming down to bear on this situation. So please stay away from the area. We have had reports of people coming down trying to help. We got that, so we're good right now. So, but we have numerous victims right now. I don't have a number for you on that, but please keep their families and them in your thoughts as we work our way through this problem. Once I have more information to come back, I will come back and give you that information at this time. But as of now, what I can confirm is we do have one suspect down, and we want people to steer clear of the area. Thank you.
Are there other suspects?
Still looking for anybody else? Any fatalities, Jeff?
So you heard it right there from Sergeant Jeff Clark. One suspect down, and there are numerous.
All right, so we were listening to the news conference right there. They're still asking him questions right now, but the police officer was basically stating that we have numerous victims right now. One suspect is down. We heard Adam report about that well. Let's listen again to what this officer is saying. What we do know right now is that Las Vegas police say one suspect is down after shooting at the Country Music Festival. So far, 2 reported dead, 24 injured. The entire situation causing complete chaos along the Strip. A barrage of gunfire being heard early in the time when many people thought it was just firecrackers. Then they noticed that it kept continuing. People began screaming, fleeing the scene. The shooting started during that concert at the Route 91 Vegas Strip. Country singer Jason Aldean had been performing at the time. He went on right after fellow country artist Jake Owen, who was still at the event. He tweeted, "Gunshots, Vegas. Pray to God. Love you guys. Love Pearl." We have Adam Housley, who's standing by with us right now on the Las Vegas Strip. Adam, what can you tell us about in terms of what's going on there on the scene?
A couple other guys just walked out. You guys just walked out from over where the crimes or where the shooting took place. You were going to talk to me just now as you were walking up. What'd you have to say? What'd you see? What'd you hear?
I just walked out. My aunt and uncle fucking grabbed me right now, and we're just going home.
Okay. Well, good luck. Glad you're okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. Yeah, as you mentioned, it was the end of the concert, so you have guys that had been enjoying themselves. We're gonna walk this way. Okay, come this way, guys. We're gonna cross the street on Reno because we're staying back. The police officers in this area have asked us to stay over in this area, out of their way, which of course we're gonna do. But look at Kelly. This is a cooler. This is a freezer. Blood on the side. Somebody's leaned up against it, either injured or who've been helping people. But you can see blood all over the freezer in the middle of the street, Kelly. This is downtown Las Vegas.
That is not what we should be seeing in Las Vegas.
And this street was packed an hour and a half ago, Kelly. Now I'm going to walk over this way. Barnes, you come this way with me. We're going to cross the street because they talked about staying out of the area in that press conference, meaning people coming in or trying to help and get involved. The area is the southern part of the Strip. If you've been to Las Vegas, the airport's directly behind my camera. So if I was pointing right through this TV screen, that's where the airport is. To my right, Mandalay Bay, the furthest south hotel on the Strip. Obviously very higher end hotel. We're told that's where they believe potentially the shooter came from the 20th floor, Kelly. The information continues to change. We're going to go back to you in New York, and as we'll have more information for you here shortly, Kelly.
All right, Adam Housley, thank you. Reporting for us from the Strip in Las Vegas, where there's just a terrible unfolding of horror and tragedy tonight. We're going to pause for one moment to let our Fox stations join us, and we'll continue to keep you updated in terms of what's happening. As you've been watching Adam Housley, many people who are fleeing that scene, or at least some of them who were fleeing, others ran towards the shooting and towards those who had been injured to try to render aid and help them, get better, to help them recover. And we're going to pause for one moment to let our Fox stations join us now. This is Fox News coverage of a multiple shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. I'm Kelly Wright in New York, and all eyes at this time are on what's unfolding right there in Las Vegas. Earlier in the night, there was a concert going on, the Harvest Festival. 3 days had been going on, 3 days of fun, 3 days of family fun, country music playing in the air. Many people were there, Eric Church, Jason Aldean, and then something twisted happened, something sinister. They heard gunshot fire, and they thought at first it was just firecrackers. It turned out to be shootings, and people are dead. People are wounded. Our Adam Housley has been following the developments on the ground there in Las Vegas. He's on the Strip where everything at this hour is shut down and on lockdown. People who are there are ordered to stay in place. Adam, what can you tell us?
Kelly, I'm going to reset everything for you. Before 10:30 this evening, Jason Aldean was performing the final song at that concert festival. That's when they started hearing gunfire. We believe, and at least a lot of witnesses believe, and some law enforcement we spoke to believe, that may have come from the 20th floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, which was across the street from the festival. That's when Jason Aldean ran. That's when everybody else started to run. We know people have been injured by being trampled and by being shot. 2 dead so far, 24 injured according to police officers, and that the shooter is down. People are walking out. Obviously, this area has people in various states of clarity because of the fact of what they've seen. Also, it was the end of a concert festival. You'll see blood. You see blood on the street. Will you just come out from inside there? Yeah. What'd you see?
Nothing. Now we cleared it all.
But what was it like when you were in there?
A couple of people shot. Yeah, for sure.
The end of the. That's all right. It's all right. Well, appreciate it. I'm glad you made it okay. All right. There's blood in the street. 15 really. He just said he carried 15 people out. Walk this way, guys. So you can see blood on the street. As I showed a little while ago out there, that is a cooler. You would normally see that inside somebody's business or home. It's blood all on the outside of that. For people at home who've been to Las Vegas, the airport is directly to my right. To my left is the Strip. There's the New York, New York. We come down this way. You can see, obviously, the Hotel Row. We get to Luxor, get to Delano, and then there's the Mandalay Bay, the furthest major resort on the Strip. That's where they believe that the gunfire came from. Again, police are telling us right now that at least one suspect is down. They won't say if there are any more, and if they believe there are any more. We're going to come this way some more, guys. This is Reno Street, and this is Giles Street, corner of Reno Avenue and Giles Street. We're about a half block off the Strip and a half block or so, or maybe a block full block north of Mandalay. You can see this is the law enforcement block off right here. Just to the south of them, you'll see some more flashing lights. That is where the main triage area was. Sir, did you just come out from inside?
I worked the stage.
Can I ask you what you saw, what you heard? You were on stage?
I heard a ton of rounds flying behind me and all.
What's your name?
My name is Mike.
Mike, sorry to meet you under these circumstances. Yeah. Okay, you were on stage. Jason Aldean was singing. Okay. Tell me what happened.
Well, we heard a bunch of. Actually, it sounded like firecrackers in the beginning, and then it went off again after that, and then all of a sudden everybody was just running off the stage. And we hear shots coming from, like, it looked like the southwest corner of where the stage, maybe like where Mandalay Bay was coming from. And now we're getting all these random reports. There's random shooters all over the place.
That's normal, fluid.
Hotels.
Right.
But, you know, a lot of us have been saying this is a long time coming. And here we are with the sanctuary city. We have a lot of people with a lot of crazy ideas.
Just before, I know we don't want to get political here. I'm just got you. No.
Fact.
Yeah, I understand. Question for you. You were on stage. How many people did you see down? I mean, I met a lot of people.
I know firsthand about 4 to 5 down that I had to call Metro or EMTs to come over and get these people out of here, get them some kind of shelter or some kind of aid, something. Shots just kept ringing out here and there, and it's a mess. It's a mess. There's a lot of people that are injured, a lot of people that have been shot. 2 or 3 that I know of that have been shot. 3 to 4 that I know of that got injured trying to run out of there. It's horrible. It's horrible. This is disgusting. Makes me sick.
Sorry to meet you under these circumstances. All right, Mike, have a good, it's all right. Come this way, guys. This way over here. Kelly, I'm going to keep walking with our crew down Giles. You'll see that's where the main triage area was. We were down there moments ago. The police force asked us to move back a bit, stay out of the way, so we decided to do, of course. And in the middle of the street, you'll see rubber gloves, you'll see gauze, you'll see just remnants of what was a triage. You're still seeing ambulances down there. 2 different witnesses who've walked out of that area in the last 15 minutes have told me there are still a number of bodies on sidewalks, and that those bodies are people that did not make it. We know that officially at this hour, 2 people dead, dead, 24 shot, and the shooter, at least one shooter that we know of, is down. As you heard from that witness, there are reports that one other shooter may have made it over to another hotel nearby. There's, in fact, a couple different hotels we heard that might have had shooters, including Tropicana. Cannot confirm any of that. We've been to these type of crime scenes before over the years, unfortunately, San Bernardino and others. The information changes by the minute, very fluid. So we know what we know, which is 24 injured, 2 dead, shooter down, still more bodies down over there. We saw with my own eyes countless ambulances leave the scene from about 10:35, 10:40 on. Let me have another witness here coming up. Kevin. Can you come over here? My name's Adam. Nice to meet you. Sorry under the circumstances.
Right.
Were you in the concert?
I was.
What'd you see?
I didn't see anything. I just heard the what sounded like gunfire, and then people on stage started scrambling, and everybody just kind of ran from that point.
Where'd you go?
I actually stayed local in the concert venue. Hid behind a little table,
right.
And until everybody cleared, SWAT came in and I left, and then I went out and started. There were a couple of bodies there, and started loading them into the back of a truck.
Were they dead?
I don't know if they were dead or not. One of them looked like she was probably dead, and the other two, I'm not sure.
So you saw at least 3 people that had been shot?
Yes, and 2 more over on the sidewalk that were separate from those.
What, I can't even imagine. We were down the street. We heard the sirens. We obviously didn't hear the gunfire, but I can't imagine what you're thinking, what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a blur. You know, it's you just don't think it's going to happen, but you know, it's the state of affairs these days. You know.
I will say the one thing you're probably the 20th person we've spoken to has come out who've tried to help people, which I know that kind of shows how Americans respond to stuff like this when in a time of crisis.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you do what you can. You do what you can. I mean, we're all together, red, white, blue, whatever. You know, you try and help each other. So, I pray that they, you know, they made it out, and whoever did this is neutralized.
Well, we heard the shooters down. We don't know if there's more than one, but sorry to meet you in these circumstances.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Guys, come this way. Again, I'm going to come over so you can see further down Giles Street right here. The Mandalay's in the distance. So basically between this location, which is the main triage area, and where, as you can see, law enforcement set up a blockade, just on the other side of those flashing lights, you can see the hook and ladder truck. You can see a couple of ambulances. Here comes another truck this way. I'm not sure exactly what this is, maybe fire response. Just on the other side of those vehicles is where the concert venue was. It was obviously set up across the street from Mandalay, 3-day venue. Country concert, very popular. People come in. We've met from all over St. Louis, Canada, who've come in to see this concert. It was at the very end of the concert, roughly 10:15, Jen. About 10:15 or so, Jason Aldean was singing the final song. That's when the first gunfire was heard. I've listened to some of the video. It sounds like you would hear at a 4th of July festival, the pop, 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 those little firecrackers you throw into the street. People thought that's what it was at first. Apparently, it sounds like that Jason, when he was singing, at first may have possibly thought the same thing, and then at some point he ran, and people scattered on stage, which caused the crowd clearly to scatter as people also started going down from being shot. We know people have been injured being trampled. We know people have been injured and killed that were shot. We know there was one shooter who was down, according to law enforcement. Looking at the response now, guys, from what it was when we arrived here about an hour ago, close to an hour ago, yeah, maybe a little more than that. I don't see police running around in tactical gear anymore in this area. I see them as if I don't say stand down, but they're not wearing their helmets. They've taken off that. They've put down the large rifles. You see them milling about more. So which leads me to believe, at least in this area, they believe they've got it under control. But I know there's all sorts of reports, and you got to know they're checking all the hotels nearby. It's a quick run from Mandalay to Delano, for example. A quick run from Mandalay to Luxor, Tropicana, to MGM, to Excalibur. They're all right here. This is the southern part of the Strip. If you've been to Vegas, you've seen these hotels. You see them when you fly in, you see them when you fly out. And this is where this is all going on at this hour. There was a report when we first arrived that somebody may have made it to the Tropicana, but I don't see the police response here to warrant that as being a possibility, because I don't see the police in tactical gear, and I see the hotel open. I know one of our interns was at the concert with her family. When they heard the gunfire, they ran from the concert, jumped in a vehicle, and hightailed it to a hotel about 2 blocks from here. And they were in the basement closet with at least 20 other folks who were at that concert who just found cover and wanted to stay out, away, and stay safe. Kelly, this is obviously a very changing situation. There are really no words to describe what we've seen. People walking out with blood all over their bodies, and that's not blood from their own self.
Exactly.
Kelly.
And Adam, let me interrupt you at that particular point, because as you've mentioned that you've seen people with blood on their bodies, not bloodied from themselves, but from actually going back into the fray, into that pandemonium and bedlam to try to help fellow Americans, and many of them telling you precisely, Adam, that they were proud to be able to help. Sad with these circumstances, as the security officer you spoke to earlier, the former Marine, said, this sucks that you would impact this kind of peaceful event, a country music festival in the heart of Las Vegas, families milling about, causing no harm to anyone, and some shooter goes out and opens fire to create this kind of impact.
Kelly, that's what we've seen with these events, whether it be on our shores or not. It's almost always at an event of a gathering where it's peaceful, where people are here enjoying life, whether it be San Bernardino in a Christmas party, whether it be a church in South Carolina. We don't know what this shooter is. We don't know if it's a male, a female. We don't know what color. We don't know where from. We don't know any of that. All we know is there were thousands of people here peacefully listening to music, and at the end of the 3-day concert festival, they lost their lives or they were maimed. We know that there are 2 dead for sure. I believe that number is going to go up, just because I'm told there are people on the sidewalk over there that are covered up with tarps, right where our camera view is. You're seeing those flashing ambulances. We were right down there maybe 10 minutes ago when we were talking to you. We've been told on the other side of those ambulances, and we didn't want to walk over there for respect of those who lost their lives, that on the other side of those ambulances, there are bodies. So how many? God, I hope there's only, there's none. I hope that the reports are wrong. But, you have people telling us 2, 3, 4, 5. Do those count in the 2 that we've already been told? We don't know. The numbers are going to change. Right now, 2 dead, 24 injured. Guarantee you those numbers are going up. We've heard reports that police may have been shot. And this is fluid. This type of situation, we've seen it before. Unfortunately, we're going to see it again. We can all pray it doesn't happen again, but it's going to happen again. And the one light of any of this is that we've met a lot of people who risk their own lives to help their fellow Americans and fellow visitors, taking off their own shirts, wrapping them around wounds. Men and women walking out with blood all over their bodies, not their own blood. That's not supposed to happen.
No, it isn't.
That's not supposed to happen, Kelly.
No, it isn't, Adam.
It's a bunch of crap. It's not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to happen.
And for lack of a better term, I'd love to use more vicious words than that. But at this hour, our number one priority is those who've been injured and those families who are having to deal with losing a loved one or having an injured loved one. I do believe that they obviously have a much more clearer view right now, at least in this area, because when we arrived, there were people running around, or there were officers running around in tactical gear in every direction. You got anything, Jen? Okay, we have people obviously coming in and out of this situation. Barnesy, turn to your right over here. So that right there, Kelly, that's the Strip. So maybe 1 block from the Strip. To the left, obviously, is Luxor, and then you got Delano and you got Mandalay Bay. This whole area is blocked off.
And
Kelly,
as you know,
this is going to be going on throughout the night.
It's going to go on throughout the night, and as you know,
we have some coming out and
go ahead.
Someone's coming out in handcuffs. Doesn't mean he's involved in this at all.
All right,
go ahead.
We'll follow the developments of what you're talking about. Someone coming out in handcuffs. Well, we're going to pause for a reset again, Adam, but we just want to let you know the work that you're doing right there, and getting that information from so many people who care about their fellow Americans who were there and jumped into the fray. And it doesn't not even the fact that they were American, but just the fact that they were people gathering for a very wonderful event and having this ugliness take place. They responded by helping there. And Adam, as you continue to report and get more development and more people to talk to us, we'll be coming back to you. Adam Housley's been reporting for us tonight. on the situation in Las Vegas, and we've seen it. It's a horrible situation. The Harvest Festival was coming to a close. Jason Aldean had been on the stage, and one fellow country singer tweeted that he heard shots, and he said, "Pray for America, pray for us." Please stay tuned to Fox News Channel and this Fox station for continuing coverage of this story. I'm Kelly Wright in New York. We'll be back with more.